Appreciate this opportunity. I did some of this information I presented a couple of years ago, if any of you are here for that. And but I'm Brad Powell. I've been with the Mid-Valley Improvement District now for 6 years. I was a consulting engineer for 34 years before that. And my primary focus was in water and wastewater, and especially in wastewater. I worked as a district engineer for Timpanogos Special Service District, MIDVALLEY Special Service District, and a couple other small sewer districts. And I was really excited when this opportunity came to work in Mid-Valley. As I was putting this together, I have a little poster, a little picture beside my desk we used to have in our conference room, and it talks about manhole covers and how they evolved. Now, just little facts about manhole covers. As early as 3500 BC, the civilization realized that they needed a hole or some access to their sewers so that they could clean them. And they started creating manholes, and they used stones to cover the top. And then in the 1800s, in France and England, they developed cast iron manhole lids, manhole covers. And then shortly thereafter, they started doing that in the United States. But even then, many of the materials that are used for manhole covers have been stone, asphalt, cast iron, and wood. During World War II, when metal was scarce, they used wood. They were big manhole covers, but that's what they used. And it's just really interesting to see what countries and municipalities do with them today. They try to make them look really good. This is one from Japan. I thought it was interesting. One's Japan. I'm sure they're not out in the street. They're probably in sidewalks or where they don't have heavy traffic. Another one from Japan. And I'm not sure where this one is, but I thought it was pretty creative. And this one is in Brazil. And this one is, I thought was pretty good. This next one I really like. It's in France. And then this is ours. We have a little retaining wall behind our office and have 3 of them cast into it for decorations. It turned out pretty good. Mid-Valley Improvement District was created in May of 1947, and it was called the Salt Lake City Suburban Sanitary District Number 2. In 2007, in March, the district changed the name, mainly because we had nothing to do with Salt Lake City. And in my opinion, Mid-Valley Improvement District is much easier to say, and it's easier to tell people who we are. We currently have 9 full-time employees. 7 of them are here today, including me. We have 2 cleaning trucks, a camera truck, and then we also have a trailer that we use for spot repairs. We have other various vehicles, a dump truck, a backhoe, and then the other trucks, just individual trucks that we drive. Our district covers about approximately 4 square miles, and we have more than 75 miles of sewer lines. 84% of those are 8-inch, and of all the sewer lines, 53% are concrete, 24% are clay, and then the rest are PVC. We have 1 tiny section of cast iron. We don't take care of anything less than 8 inches. So we do everything 8 inches and up. And so we've got 8 up, clear up to 36 within our district that we own solely in our district, but we also share a 48-inch outfall with Midvale and West Jordan. We have almost 1,900 manholes, and that seems to be growing. And our average flow this year from January through July was just a little over 2 MGD, 2.13. We own capacity at the South Valley Water Reclamation Facility at 3.84 MGD. This is our boundary. You can see our west boundary is the tracks line, and in the south, part of it is on 8600 north or 8600 south, and then the other part is on 8400 south. The north is I-215, and then on the east side we go not quite to 13th east. One spot we go over, catch one building, but everything else is about 1200 east and west of that. We cover about half of Midvale City. The top, maybe the north, little piece of Sandy City on the north. We cover a little, I think we go into Conrad Heights, just there across 13th East in one spot, and then we have a little bit of Murray City on the north end. Because of the age of our lines, we do a lot of slip lining, trying to, hold on here. I don't know what happened here, it's going blank. There we go. What do we got?
Possessed?
Yeah, it's possessed.
What is it?
I don't know where that came.
We're plugged, right? Oh, we did HDMI. Hold on. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. Is that?
Okay, we're getting back to this one here. There we go. Okay, slip lining. Oh, it's good. Since 2009 up through 2016, we had done about 25,000 feet, a little over 5 miles. We're right around 5 miles of slip lining. And then this year, we're doing about 3 miles. So the total amount that we will have completed through 2017 is about 20% of our concrete pipe. We had a study done a year ago or so, and they told us that we really needed to pick that up and start doing more. We figure that right now, if we do about 3 miles a year, we'll be able to slip line all of our concrete pipe in about 10 years or so. And the reason we do this is some of our lines, because we were created in 1947, our lines, some of them are 70 years old and more. And some of those are concrete, some of those are clay. Clay is brittle and it develops cracks. We all know that. If it's not bedded absolutely perfect, it can have some problems. It has problems with the gasket separating, things like that. Concrete pipe obviously is susceptible to H2S, hydrogen sulfide, and in the 8-inch lines where we have, we're at the top of the line, have a really low flow, it really develops a lot of hydrogen sulfide. And we find those through inspection, through the inspection, and in the past, our budget has been $100,000, but our board recently approved a budget of at least $300,000. This year, it's going to be about $400,000 to slip line. In addition to that, we can also do spot repairs. If we find a hole in a pipe or something that needs to be taken care of right away, we can go in and fix anything up to about 8 feet. Our system is cleaned every 12 months. Known problems are cleaned more often than that, sometimes 2 or 3 times a year, maybe even more. We do a complete camera inspection every 12 to 14 months. And the last sewer backup we had in our district was about 10 years ago. And it was, unfortunately, it was right in front of our office. We were able to get it. We got it taken care of, but we've never had a sewer system overflow. Oh, and by the way, all those, the cleaning and the cammering we do, we never take our trucks out when it's 32 degrees or colder. It has to be above 32 degrees. We had an experience a few years ago taking a cleaning truck out when it was freezing, and it froze the pump, and it was a $30,000 repair, so we just don't do that. And like I say, they're all cleaned annually. Our cleaning capabilities are, our main truck is a Vector 2100 Plus. We've had it since 2015, and this is going crazy again. What it is. Come on. Anyway, we've had this Vector. Well, I can tell you what it is. It's Vector 2100 Plus. We've had it since 2015, and this thing's going crazy here, even on here. It has a 1,500-gallon water capacity. The hose, it's 2,500 PSI at 85 gallons per minute.
Just keep going.
Well, okay. I've got a little video here showing our truck.
that HDMI cable.
Is that what it is?
I'm thinking so.
Okay, that's where we are right now. Let me just go back on this one.
Let me see if I can. Get this out of the way. Whoops.
Let's go back. Oh, it's all right. This is our Vector. Just a little shot of it at work. We have two operators that run this. One drives, and the other one, obviously, the driver usually operates the hose, operates the equipment, and then the passenger, the other operator, does all the logistical things that need to be done. And every day they switch, so they both get the opportunity to do both of them. We have a backup truck, a backup cleaning truck. Okay, we're not doing anything. There we go. Okay. Our backup cleaning truck is a Gapvax, and we've actually had it since 2008. It's a 2007 model. It holds 2,000 gallons of water, an 8-yard debris tank, and it also does 85 gallons a minute at 2,500 PSI. And just for your information, it's for sale. We're going to get rid of it. We've ordered a new one, and it'll be here hopefully by the end of this year. This is a sign I saw, and I think it's appropriate for today, but anyway. All of our lines are video inspected every 12 to 14 months. And a couple years ago, I did a presentation that showed how we built this truck. We built this truck on a 2012 Ford E450 chassis with a 16-foot high cube back end. It has a walk-through cab, and we kind of copied what Gold Cross Ambulances does when they build their ambulances. Dye-bond is the interior panels, have an ice and water shield underneath the floor, and then a long-seal antibacterial floor. Has a 7,500 watt oven generator. It cost us approximately $200,000 to build it and equip it with the cameras. The cameras we use are Q's equipment. We have two OZ3 cameras with pan, tilt, zoom, and they're on a pipe ranger and a compact pipe ranger transporter, two transporters. And we're capable of inspecting, and we have inspected lines as small as 6 inch and as large as 48 inches in diameter. And we use GraniteNet software. This is a picture of our truck. Let's see if I get this video to work. Oh, come on. Nope. Well, anyway, this is our camera, the video camera, or the video truck. We also have two operators in it. The driver usually puts the camera in the hole and takes it out and turns it, whatever needs to be done. He does all the logistical stuff, and the passenger, the other operator, operates the camera. And then every day they switch. Now, all of our operators are cross-trained, and every 4 months or so, 6 months or so, we change the crews, so all of our operators operate all the equipment all the time. And like I said, we do spot repair. We are able to do up to 8 feet in length. A couple of years ago, we had an issue on 9th East, and we had an 8-inch pipe that had about an 8-inch hole in it, and we were having the lines slip lined. And you can see this pipe in that picture, all those gray spots, all those spots in that pipe, that's all the aggregate from the concrete pipe, so it was really weak. And the contractor for slip lining came in, and they were cleaning the line before they slip lined it. As they did it, pieces fell off, and it got bigger and bigger, and finally they said they wouldn't slip line that piece, that section. So we said, okay, we went in after they had finished the other slip lining, and we went in and used our own spot repair equipment we did an 8-inch patch and covered up the hole and made it so that a slip lining company could get in. And then we had CNL come in and they slip lined it, and this is the same area. They did a great job. These other pictures are just typical things we find in our sewers. This is a line that probably gets cleaned about 4 times a year. The roots grow fast. We're able to clean them. Same thing with this, the fog, the fats, oils, and grease. This line gets cleaned several times a year. We find a lot of cracks. These are candidates for slip lining. And then we have a lot of concrete pipes that are weak. You can see the aggregate in that. And obviously the infiltration. MIDVALLEY Improvement District has an education policy, an education assistance policy. All of our employees, if they want, can go to school, and if they want to do that, they can. We'll pay for their tuition, their books, and other fees associated with taking a class. All of our employees are attended and given the opportunity to attend probably 2 conferences a year. We always encourage them to attend training, especially here at the Trust, anything they can get. And usually they take care of it. We had one employee, Jared Sin, who took advantage of it, learned that we wanted to start using GIS. He took it upon himself to go to school, and we reimbursed him for that, for his books and everything, and he just recently graduated with a degree in GIS from Salt Lake Community College. He's been with us for 7 years, and he's a collections operator in grade 2. So I'm going to turn this over to him, and he's going to explain some of the capabilities of our GIS. So, Jared?
By the way, it's his birthday today.
Make sure I turn my phone off so that it doesn't keep going off. So Brad asked me to come up here and talk a little bit about our GIS. Okay, thanks, Brad. Just out of curiosity, how many people in here are using GIS on their system? Anybody in here using GIS mobile? Okay, so basically, MIDVALLEY Improvement District introduced the GIS in 2014, so we're still fairly new at it. It's kind of been a learning thing, and like Brad said, they gave me the opportunity to go back to school and learn a little bit about it. In doing so, I found it to be a very interesting subject. GIS is something that's used in basically any workforce, any field. If you name anything, they use GIS some way, somehow. So it was actually very interesting for me to learn about. So 2014 to 2016, we used basic ArcGIS, just basic ARC map. We used this separately from our inspection system and our mapping system. And one thing that we kind of found to be a little bit of a headache was trying to get multiple trucks or our systems to sync together. And after a few headaches and trying to resolve the issues, a company that helps us with this is Gateway Mapping introduced us to what's called Arc Mobile. It's basically what it says. It's a mobile source of GIS created by ESRI. MIDVALLEY has provided all of our operators with mobile devices, so they've given us smartphones. And then in every truck that we have an iPad for use. Our lines and systems and data can be retrieved with any of our mobile device. And not only that, with Arc Mobile, we actually publish our map online. So if you was to go and get on any computer and put in your user credentials, you can actually tap into your map and look at all the data or anything that you need to see. So it's very convenient. We've got guys that are on call, for 30 days at a time, and sometimes we'll get a call, and you need to, maybe you might not be familiar with the address. You can take that address and pull it right up on your smartphone and look right there on the map. It's very, very useful. And don't worry, for all you old schoolers out there, we still use paper maps and highlighters for backup. and which is a good thing because we have had some data loss, and so that's something that we'll always continue to use. Let's see here. Okay, so this here is kind of a screen that we see when we log into the GIS. Here you can see on the far left there, that is actually what's called a connected map. And then the green one is a connected map. The other one there, that's just more or less a street map if you want to reference some addresses. But the far left one there, being a connected map, what that means is that when you log onto that map, you're connected directly to the source. So any data that you input, information that you put in, is directly put into the system. The green map there, the disconnected, basically what that is that you actually download that map to whatever mobile device it is that you're using. It's more or less like a fast track where you're able to immediately look. You're not waiting for things to refresh, things to pull up. And on both systems, you're able to input data. So once you do an inspection, whether it's condition or just basically stating that you did something with that line, you can put data on both. With the disconnected map, it just stores it. So the next time that you get Wi-Fi connection, if we go into the office, we get Wi-Fi connection, or you can use your mobile hotspot. You just use a sync button that's on there, and it will actually upload all that data. And once all that data is on there, anybody in the company that has access to that portal can see that data at any given time. Once you click on one of those maps, this is the screen that you'll see. Here you can see a lot of the colors and stuff. It's a little bit hard to tell. These are just screenshots. I kind of contemplated about actually just pulling up the map and kind of giving you a live feed, but I was afraid of getting lost and out of track. So basically what you're seeing here is type material. Here on the right there, you've got a legend that shows you what it is that you're seeing: cast iron, clay, concrete, PVC. And then the highlighted ones in pink are lines that we've slip lined, like Brad had mentioned. Down there on the bottom there, you also see that quotation mark, and you'll see some large red spots there that's throughout the map. And once you zoom in, those quotation marks will actually be directed right over the top of a house or a parcel. And what that does is it's an indication that we've had a problem with a customer or a homeowner. And what we do, whether it's a blown toilet or smell or anything that we've disturbed a customer. And what we'll do is we'll create that and place it on top of their house, and then go in there and place some notes, and gives us information. The next time we go to clean that line, whether it's we need to bump down the pressure, we need to go knock on the door, let them know that, hey, we're in the area, close your toilet lids, we're about to blow you up. But just try to eliminate frustration of the homeowner and try to keep the customer happy. So those are some notes that we keep. Here's kind of more of a zoom view with some additional information. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to see. So throughout our district, we've created some symbology. You can see there triangles on our manholes are cleanouts, squares are drop manholes, and just regular circles are regular manholes. One advantage for us is that we are a smaller district, and so memorizing the district is fairly easy, but still you get ready to set up on a street and you know that there's a drop manhole that's in that street, but you can't remember which manhole of the 10 that's there. Having this map just makes that a lot easier. It's just simple. And another nice feature with this system that we have is that you have a location feature. If you turn the location on, say you're out in the field, you're on that street, it will actually pull the map right there to that point. You're not sitting there trying to scan around and find where it is that you want to be. And it makes the entire process go a lot faster. And it allows you to be more efficient. So also on here you'll see some of these yellow dots that are on top of the parcels or the houses. What that is house sheets. So what we've done over the last couple of years is we've scanned all of our house sheets that we have on file and actually uploaded them to our system. That gives us the opportunity to basically go to that house, click on that house, and it'll actually pull up the house sheet for you. Just kind of fast forwards everything for you to address the customer as fast as possible. We're actually in the process of uploading this and creating a cloud where this will all be mobile. So if we need to pull up a house sheet on the spot for a customer, rather than having to go back to the office, research it, find it, come back, we might be able to help that customer a little bit faster and make it available. So that's something that we are working on. Here's additional detail. So when we click on a line, this is some of the information that comes up. It gives you the material, the length, the diameter, to and from manhole identifications, and then also the line identification. Here's just some additional information. This is also some information. So when you input that data after you've done an inspection or you've done a cleaning, what we do is we create a work order. So you can't quite see it on this box here, but if you scroll down, there's two options. One is view, one is add. And what we do is we create a work order, and we put any type of notes, condition of the pipe, whatever it is that we want to know about that pipe, we put that in there. And then the view gives you any inspection that we've ever done. You can go and review all those past inspections. You want to see how many times the line has been cleaned, you can check that, how many times it's been cleaned, any type of information that you put in there. And with GIS, one thing to keep in mind is if you're going to use it, you need to make sure that you put as much data as you can, because your map is only as good as your data. So being as formative as you can is only going to make things better for you and make your map a lot cooler, so more useful. So some examples as far as GIS on it, how it's helped the company, made us more efficient. Like I said, like I touched earlier, as far as cleaning, for an example, when we go out to a street and we want to clean a couple of sections, and I know we've all been in this situation, you kind of go off of memory. I think I can make 2 sections, but I might come up short. I'm not 100% sure. What you can do with this map is it's actually got a ruler, or you can click on each outline individually, take the footage, add it up, or it's got a ruler option where you can click on one manhole, click on to the next, that's going to give you your exact footage. Give or take your 10, 12 feet, whatever the depth of the manhole is. So it just makes things a lot more efficient. You're taking that guess out of it, gives you that more exact. And on top of that, it gives you the material of the pipe. With PVC, you may not need to use as much pressure. You may not need to use as much water. So you can turn the pressure down. It allows you to continue on down that street, use more water where it's needed, or get more done with more water. Okay. So there's a lot of efficiency factors that come with the GIS system if you use it right. Constant updates of our system for the entire company. Instead of having to make a phone call, hey, do you remember this? Or I forgot to write that down, I can't quite remember. Like I say, as long as you're inputting that data, it becomes very valuable to you. All you got to do is click on that line, go in there and look at the notes, find out what was going on in that line. Having a visual of rehabilitated lines that no longer need multiple cleanings, like Brad had talked about with our pipe rehabilitation program. 20% of our system has been lined. That's 20% that we don't need to maintain as much that we were. There's not a lot less roots, a lot of areas that we don't need to worry about destroying the pipe with the head, or things that are more fragile. We can go in and what we call is give it a quick spritz rather than doing a deep clean. So gives us a visual of problem areas. If you're putting that data in there and you're highlighting those areas, it gives you a visual. And in my opinion, a visual is always better than trying to read it off a list. Trying to go down that list, if you've got a visual there, it's gonna stick with you a little bit better. On the spot data input, again, with the mobile system, we're able to input that data right there on the spot. The guy in the passenger seat is actually putting that data in while you're running the truck. So it just makes it a lot better. You're not having to go back to the office, input all the data, trying to remember what it is that you've seen throughout the day. Some additional ways the ESRI mapping system has helped our operation. The ability to give a visual to our Board of Trustees for project details and approval. We all want to know something that needs to be done throughout your district or whatnot. Making sense and explaining that, having a visual just makes things a little bit easier. It's easier to explain. So that's an advantage. Ability to send images to contractors for precise location, detail of project to be completed. With our simplifying project, we're able to send detailed mapping images rather than, some PDF files and things like that where, it doesn't quite make sense. You're able to zoom in on a specific spot, give details, that data from that specific line that needs to be done, exact footages, just fast forwards everything, makes things a little bit easier and a little bit more precise. The ability to upload house sheets digitally to our office and server, I've already kind of talked about that with having our house sheets available and then soon to be mobile. The system has also given us the ability to give a visual of work completed and project progress. At the end of the year, we're able to see what have we done as a company, what have we done as operators, cleaning and TVing. Have we kind of met our goals? Are we still reaching those goals? Are we still doing what we think we're doing? We're able to give that visual and see. Here's kind of an example of a map that I created last year for our pipe rehabilitation project. Let's see, is this red one the laser? Yeah. All right. So here you can see that this is our main map. This is our entire district here in one. You can see like the little red square here and the line that comes down. This is just more of a highlighted version of that area for the contractor to see. And in the legend here, it shows the new pipe to be lined, and then I've also added, previous pipe to be lined. Actually, it's vice versa. So that's the new line to be lined, and this one here is the previous lines that have been lined in that area. So it kind of gives you a sense of where it's at, a zoomed view, road conditions. That can help with whether it's road work, just for that contractor to make a better, accurate quote or bid for you. Again, this is just another area. So there's the 3 areas that we did last year. And then this here is just a list of detailed information about each one of those lines. So this is manhole identification, so to and from manholes, pipe diameter, an address, pipe material, how many connections are on each pipe. And then we can also put in some notes here, whether there's laterals that need top hats that are corroded. Just makes things a little bit easier, a little bit more fast forward. So this is kind of an example that we've done. So we do have some future ideas. Like I say, with GIS, the possibilities are limitless. As long as you've got the data there, there's so many different things that you can do. And that's something that we've been really trying to do, is make sure that our data is accurate. When we first got the system, our data, as far as the footages and what was there, what you could see looked all right. But one thing that we found to be a problem was when you created a layer to show pipe material, the pipe material, 90% of the district showed to be concrete. So all that data was incorrect. So over the last couple of years, we really made an effort on our camera truck to go through and change that data, double check our footages, double check the pipe material, double check diameter, make sure that data is correct so that we can use the map and use the data. And like on that first slide where it showed a lot of the different colors, if I was to create that map last year, everything would have been whatever color concrete was, gray or black. The entire map would look that way. So we've done a pretty good job on getting that data refreshed and up to date. A couple of future ideas that we have for the system is, one, we'd like to integrate our camera system with our mapping. We've been approached with this when we first got our camera system, but we were hesitant to do it because the module is such a spending cost, and so we couldn't quite justify at that time that it was worth that cost. But now that we've been able to run the two systems separately, we're kind of looking into that a little bit more. So possibly when we look into a new truck, a new system, that might be a possibility. And again, that's just more data that we can add to that map and more use that we can get out of it. Manhole data and screenshots of inside of our manholes. Like Brad said, we've got some of our lines that are up to 70 years old. Those manholes are the same age. We haven't really done a lot of rehabilitation in some of our manholes. We've had some demos and stuff with some lining, but that's something that we're going to need to look into in the near future. And so having that data on our manholes, being able to have that at our fingertips can help fast forward that process and help us get going on that. Setting a schedule and reminders using the mapping system. And some of these, I mean, I got with some of the other operators, coworkers on what they thought that we should get and some ideas. So some of these aren't just my ideas, these are company ideas. Setting a schedule of reminders using our mapping system. And I'm not really quite sure how to do that. I'm sure it's capable, but just try to be able to keep on top of things. Use that map for more things than just visuals. Setting schedules and reminders so that things don't get forgotten about. And those areas that haven't been sliplined yet, you're able to go out there and maintain those until that time comes and it gets on that schedule. Reminders of maintaining a line or area that has not been rehabilitated yet. So I kind of already touched on that. So vaguely, that's kind of what we're doing with GIS. I know that there's a million more things that we can do. We're only scratching the surface. But given the few years that we're in, I think we've made a pretty good stride on making the most of the system for what we know and the data that we have. And if any of you guys have got some questions or comments and tips, I'd be more than happy to hear them. Yeah? No. So I'm actually an operator. Mid-Valley just gave me the opportunity to go to school and learn more about the system to kind of help with that. We use a company, Gateway Mapping, for a lot of the more in-depth stuff, but some of the minor stuff and tweaks and modifications that we do with the mapping, that's what I'm trying to eliminate some costs where we don't have to hire that out. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you.